process already? Can we get to game number one already for the NBA playoffs? Because it's exciting times right now to see if the Lakers can actually extend this series or they can actually go out there and win this series against the Houston Rockets. And we're going to keep on doing a deeper dive as far as matchups, rotations, who needs to step up, X factors, all those different types of things. Who can contain Kevin Durant? Can they force Kevin Durant, though, to have those same 7 turnovers that he had in those 2 games in Houston? There's a lot of good things. And we got someone here today that's going to help me out to break down this Houston Rockets matchup, this first round matchup for the Los Angeles Lakers. Don't know if he's ready to go just quite yet, but when he is, I'll make sure I'll be able to bring him on. But you know what? There's someone on this Lakers team that I also want to get a deeper look into, because if he's able to score the rock and he's able to provide much needed scoring from off the bench, then who knows? Who knows what this Lakers team can be without Luka Doncic and without Austin Reeves? Oh, you already know. We have to talk about the beautiful Pechanga Resort Casino. And you can play a perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino, the official Native American resort and casino of the Los Angeles Lakers. Skip the traffic. Head on over to Pechanga Resort Casino just off the I-15 in Temecula. Visit pechanga.com or call 888-PECHANGA for reservations and for more information. Man, just real quick, I know this is a really, really big matchup for the Lakers, and hopefully they can win this series. Hopefully they can extend this series. But if you have not been to Pechanga Resort Casino, I'm telling you guys right now, you have to. It is a must. It's one of the best casinos that is out there right now. I'm not even just saying that. I'm being genuinely honest. It's one of the nicest casinos I have seen. But to get into this first round matchup, the Lakers and the Houston Rockets, I was thinking about it, and I mentioned Deondre Ayton. We talked about him being an X factor. We talked about DeAndre Ayton needing to be that guy to have his hands ready to go, because there's too many times, hell, we've seen those clips of DeAndre Ayton being in the right spot offensively. LeBron James drawing 2 defenders, a nice little dish pass, and what happens? Ball goes right through DeAndre Ayton's hands, which leads to what? It leads to a transition bucket on the other end. So, talked about that. We talked about DeAndre Ayton need to be that interior force. We also talked about him needing to be that defending rim protector, rebounding, big man for this Lakers team. We talked about that, right? Now there's another guy that has a lot of ups and downs. He does. We saw him kind of after he got injured, which is, I'm speaking about Rui Hachimura. We've seen him get injured, and then he comes back into the lineup, and him being that guy coming off the bench, because we said this Lakers team, they don't have a spark off the bench. They don't have a guy that can literally go out there and create their own bucket. We were seeing Jake LaRavia come off the bench. We were seeing at the time Gabe Vincent. We were seeing at the time Jared Vanderbilt, Maxi Kleber. Those are the guys coming off the bench. Those are guys who are not going to be able to create their own shot necessarily, for being honest, right? Now, as this printer is going off right next to me, got some things printing out. Now, when you look at Rui Hachimura and seeing how his role has increased and seeing what he has done off the bench, the Lakers need this side of Rui Hachimura. The Lakers need this Rui Hachimura to be assertive, to be aggressive. To as soon as you making that process and as soon as you have that ideal, okay, I'm wide open, you need to be able to knock down the shot. Rui Hachimura being aggressive like this and attacking the basket, this is what the Lakers need. They can't have that Rui Hachimura where he's shooting 2 of 14, shooting 3 of 10, shooting 4 of 12, whatever it is. They need Rui Hachimura to be able to knock down shots. And defensively, there's one clip that I was talking to my guy Tim. We were just going back and forth. And there is a game where the Lakers are playing against the Clippers. And you should see how Rui Hachimura was able to move his feet defensively, keeping Jordan Miller in front. He was able to rotate. He was able to close out. Just look at this defense right here from Rui Hachimura. And this is the shot clock winding down, forcing him to take dribbles all to the half court. And then he's trying to make a move. He's trying to blow by him. Rui Hachimura keeps his ground. He keeps him in front. Jordan Miller has no decision but to kick it out to Chris Dunn. Then what happens? Shot clock violation. This is a good defensive possession. And look, we understand Luka Doncic was on the basketball court at that time. But just imagine if that's Jake LaRavia out there and Rui Hachimura is able to keep guys in front. And you got Marcus Smart being in that weak side, help side defense. You also got Jake LaRavia in the pass lanes. You got Deondre Ayton in that help side, being ready to go on help side, having to be ready in help side. Then you got LeBron James if DeAndre Ayton were to help. And I know I'm getting deep in the wounds right here. I know, but just follow me here. And LeBron James is able to help out. If the Lakers can replicate that type of defense into a Houston Rockets team, who they solely rely heavily on Kevin Durant, there could be a possibility. We all understand this is going to be a very, very, very difficult task, especially trying to ask LeBron James at the age of 41 to carry this team. But those clips I just set, just that we have right here, those clips that we were able to show, that is a very, very good thing. Now, I told you guys I'm going to have someone with me to help elaborate and break down this game. This series, I should say, much, much more. And you guys are very, very familiar with my guy who holds down the operation. John. You guys love John. John Martin is here with me today. Yeah, I know. Yeah. And John, we normally I normally only have you on for the 15 minutes, but no. I said John needs to be on me for 30 minutes. He needs to be able to help me break down this game even more. So, John, I was talking about Rui Hachimura. And I was talking about we played some clips. We played some clips as far as him offensively, being a quick decision maker, getting to his one-dribble pull-up, and also he's wide open, knocking down that wide-open three-point ball. Also, hear me out, John. Also, seeing him move those puppies. Slide these damn.
Move them puppies. Ooh, move them.
That is the thing that the Lakers are going to need from Rui Hachimura, even more without Luka Doncic and Austrians. Am I wrong about that?
Look, D. In the words of David Goggins, who's going to carry the boats? Who's going to carry the load? I'm pretty sure that's what he says. Correct me back there if I'm wrong. But who's going to step up, right? LeBron is 41. We know this. Luka is out. AR is out. Who's going to step up? Marcus is a dog. DeAndre Ayton is a dog. I expect some good things from LaRavia. I absolutely love what I've been seeing from the lucky lefty from Duke, Luke Kennard, stepping up, giving us his first career triple-double, playing point guard, making it happen. But of everyone, I got to see it from Rui. Because he has such upside, such great potential. In some games, he kind of coasts. You feel like he's not there. Is he even playing? You forget he's out there. And then there are other games where you feel his presence, bro, and you need that. You need that offensive back from him right now.
Look, man, because we've seen Rui being that starter. We've seen him be in the mix as a starter, right? And we see how that went down. And it was hard for him to find his shots, to find his spacing, because you have three guys that can create their own bucket. Why try out a fourth one, correct?
Exactly.
So Rui being moved to the bench, we expected what? We expected him to get 12 to 15 points, right? Especially providing spark off the bench. That is what you got Rui Hachimura for now, since they acquired Luka Doncic. And you got to be able to he has to be able to understand, like James Redick has been saying, since those guys are out of the lineup, everyone's role has significantly increased. DeAndre Ayton's role to be that Clint Capella guy, all of a sudden it changed real quick. Yes, they still need you to play like Clint Capella in a sense, as far as being there on the roll, rebounding, being ready for the lob, having your hands ready to go. But they also need him to do what? Be a good defender. If he ends up being switched on to a smaller guard, not necessarily that's the right case for that, but keeping guys in front. And then having to be there at the right spot on the help side of things. And then for Rui Hachimura, look, man, there's gonna be games in this series that LeBron's going to need to score 20. And we've seen Rui do it.
Absolutely.
We have. But there's probably gonna be a game where, like, okay, we're gonna need you to get 15 to 20. And
I mean, I'll raise it. We need a dub and a nickel. We need 25 from you. We need, maybe 28, 27. Like, we need high scoring games.
And we get so focused on offense, but defense too. We saw that clip right there. How it looked. I understand it's the Los Angeles Clippers, but the Clippers, they turn their season around. They're a playing team. But in that moment, that's a great defensive possession, and they had Luka Doncic on that end. Now imagine if you had Jared Vanderbilt in that mix, just trying to throw different looks at the Houston Rockets.
Wait, hold on. Wait, are you saying you want to see Vanderbilt out there for this first round matchup against the Rockets?
I'm saying, you know what? I'm saying this right now, and you're hearing it right now on Lakers Talk Daily at 11:11. They're going to need Jared Vanderbilt for some defensive purposes. Whether you like it or not, whether you don't see it, him being helpful offensively, you're going to need him out there. Because why? You only have 9 guys. So say if Jake LaRavia is not really helping you out beneficially offensively, and then he has some moments where he lacks defensively, you're going to need Jared Vanderbilt because they need size. They need size.
I'm just not sure, though, D. I'm not sure.
Why?
He's not really the defender he used to be. If you watch him play, he's not the defender he used to be. He's slower. People are blowing by him. And then, obviously, we know about his offensive inefficiencies, to say the least. I mean, I do like seeing him take the threes. You do have to shoot him when you're open. But defensively, guys are getting past him. These aren't the Minnesota days anymore.
See, okay. And keeping guys in front, yeah, that's what we would expect from Jared Vanderbilt. But hell, what if he was just to be that guy to deny the ball from Kevin Durant's hands? As soon as Kevin Durant gets the ball, you get the ball out of KD's hands. How about Jared Vanderbilt a different look? You want to talk about J.J. Redick throwing out different defensive looks? All right. How about we do something where as soon as we double team Kevin Durant and the ball gets out of his hands, and all of a sudden we're in a scramble mode situation. You rotate correctly. How about Jared Vanderbilt just literally face guards Kevin Durant? Don't let him catch. Let's make Alperen Sengun beat you. Let's make Amin Thompson beat you. Let's make Jabari Smith Jr. beat us. We're not going to let Kevin Durant beat us. And it cannot be sustainable for a 7-game series. There might be one game where Kevin Durant just is feeling it that night. He's going to be able to get to his spots. But if the Lakers can steal, I'm telling you this, and I'm just trying to really, really be optimistic here. If they can steal one and get their one at home, and then hopefully they can steal one in Houston, and all of a sudden it's a real series. It's a real series.
So, D, we're hopeful for all these things. Of course, we want to see the Lakers succeed and do these things. It feels like, we expect the Lakers to kind of weather the storm until Luka can come back. I don't know if AR will be coming back, but until, Luka, he's getting shot up in Europe with the secret sauce, the Captain America serum.
The stem cell, baby. Come on now.
He's getting the stem cell stuff. So we're trying to hold down the fort until he comes back. What are your thoughts on LeBron's play? He's kind of back in this primary role as the first option again. He's looked good at times.
Yes.
Do you think he can sustain this in the playoffs, first round?
You know what, man? I think truly, I see him go on his, and they might laugh, the Mind the Game podcast with him and Steve Nash. And you should see how happy he was just to be out of the damn play-in tournament. And talking about how he gets that week rest, and he's happy that he can sit there and just watch the play-in and go get ready for his game on Saturday. These days add up. And the fact that they get these couple of days off, I think that really, really helps him out. And as far as that, there is a couple days in between for the second game. So thinking about it, they have this game on Saturday. And then they don't play until most likely Tuesday, 2 days off in between. They don't have to worry about traveling. I feel like those are moments where we can see LeBron James be able to turn it up. We see him get 30, 9, and 12 against the Dallas Mavericks. I think he can still do that against the Houston Rockets team. And I know the Houston Rockets are a lot better defensively. They're a lot more physical than the Dallas Mavericks. And I know the Lakers didn't end up with a W against the Dallas Mavericks. But LeBron James still able to do that and get to his spots. And if he's able to knock down his three-point ball like he's been doing to finish off the regular season week and be named NBA Player of the Week to finish off the regular season, just saying, I think LeBron James can do it, but it's going to be hard because it all is going to depend on if the others are able to fulfill and step in. Because LeBron James, you know right away, you're going to get 20. You're going to get 25. You are.
You're going to get your 20, 7 and 7, something like that, probably.
You are. The only thing that's going to make this difficult, and we can elaborate more on this on the other side, is that what are they going to do with the Houston Rockets? Because Houston Rockets, we all say it, they will be smart to double team LeBron James immediately and make others beat them. Like how the Lakers are probably going to try to do with Kevin Durant. If the Rockets are smart, they should try to do it. They're going to do the same exact thing. But who knows? It's Houston. Their season has been all over the place. And even though they're still top 5 in the Western Conference, they hit a point where, this team does not look right. And then they started to get it together, and then all of a sudden it's kind of like, okay, let's see what type of Houston Rockets team is going to show up. So before we talk more about this on, this Lakers, LeBron, who's going to be able to step up, before we do any of that, I got my guy John Martin here. We're going to let our partners at Pachanga give you guys a quick word.
At Pachanga Resort Casino, you can rock and roll, sip and slide, twist and shout. Play your perfect combination at Pachanga Resort Casino, official Indian gaming sponsor of the Lakers.
All right, what is going on? Welcome back to Lakers Talk Daily. Today I got my guy. You guys are very, very familiar with him, John Martin. Normally you guys catch him on the second half of Lakers Talk Daily, but I told him, John, you got to do the 30 minutes with me, man. It's the playoffs, baby. We got to be rolling.
The playoffs. Yes, sir.
John, by the way, John, everyone in the YouTube chat, they're saying, Ruben Flores said, nah, John not cool in my book. Get Tim back in here because you got a certain hat on, man. You got that Pittsburgh Pirates hat, and they're not quite fond of that hat, man. What do you got to say to those, man?
In my defense, I got a couple of things. First, huge fan of Roberto Clemente growing up, so I'm gonna leave that out there. If they don't like that, that's on them. 2, this is the Pittsburgh Pirates hat, but before that, not before that, but more importantly to me, this is the Bryson Tiller hat. Y'all know 2015. This is the Bryson Tiller P hat. Having one of these was, This is that hat. So shout out Bryson Tiller. Love his music. Yeah.
Hey, that's all. Come on, man. What are we doing here? Why are we doing this again?
Hey, actually look like, bro, for real. Stop playing. Give me the scoop.
John, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I think you look just like him. I think you really do look like LaFonso Ellis.
I don't see it, bro.
Our guy Peter in the YouTube chat, he cooked with that one. I see it.
I don't see it.
I'm telling you right now, man. And everyone in the YouTube trying to call him John Ellis.
John Ellis. I don't see it. I don't see it, but
hey, look, man, I understand. We all have some lookalikes. It's okay, man. We have some lookalikes. It's okay to happen, every now and then. Yeah. But so we were talking about, LeBron, if he's in his ability to be able to sustain this 4-7 game series. I do believe he is able to do so. We talk about it's the others that are going to have to step up. And honestly, a lot of them in the YouTube chat and just even carried on through the morning show throughout our entire station. Everyone is in the real agreement with it's going to be DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton actually needs to be that guy for them. He needs to get that double. He needs to be a walking double-double in the playoffs. 19, 11. They're going to need that. And it can't be one game. It's got to be legit a whole entire series. They're in agreement with those, John.
D, you bring up a great point, but I want to ask a question to you from your perspective, right? You have a guy like DeAndre Ayton. Talented.
Yes.
Talented. Number 1 pick. Right? Then he has such potential, and he taps into that potential every couple of games where you're like, this is the guy who went number 1. This is the guy who is dominating at Arizona. This is the guy who helped the Suns get to the championship. Yes, they fell to the Greek Freak, but this is the guy who, has so much great upside. And how do you tap into his mind, his psyche to unlock that? That's the challenge that is in front of JJ Redick. You talked about, how do I feel about JJ, coaching update. He's in year 2 now. Mm-hmm. How do I feel about him thus far? I think JJ is a solid coach. His schemes are pretty good. I think he's really good at drawing up plays, but it's like there's levels to coaching. There's the, play creating and subbing people out and things of that nature. How do you like get a guy like Aiton and inspire him to like tap into that next level? Because the crunk juice is not the answer.
No,
the crunk juice is not the answer.
The crunk juice is not the answer. But if that's something that can motivate him internally, hey, whatever, to each their own. If it helps him out, it helps him out. And I keep on going back to is that everyone's like, why isn't LeBron James the vocal leader? Why isn't LeBron James communicating more than Aiton? Why does LeBron get so frustrated with Deondre Ayton? He throws his hands up when the ball goes through his hands. We see it. There's moments. And frustration for LeBron James is that the expectation for him is really, really loud, meaning you are on the basketball court with them, we expect you to be at the same level as me as far as competitiveness, as far as being engaged, as far as being able to play for a full 48 minutes. Remember LeBron James' comments. We can't play full 48 minutes of basketball. And why can't you get everyone else to do that then, LeBron James? Well, this is where the counter is. We see Marcus Smart and what he has said. We saw him in his sit down, and we see how he was saying hey, look, man, LeBron James, Luka Doncic, they're going to get theirs. They already know what they got to do. So we don't really communicate with them. Marcus Smart said his job is to be that defensive anchor. I'm that guy that's going to communicate. I'm the guy that's going to put people in the right spots defensively. I'm also the one that communicates with Deondre Ayton on and off the basketball court. And as soon as that interview went out with Marcus Smart saying that, that's when Deondre Ayton's game elevated in the month of March. It really did. And I was really, really high on Deondre Ayton. And because earlier in the season, I wasn't. I'm like, I'm not really sure. And he gave us a lot of moments where it was like, this is what we were trying to explain to you guys. But you also got to go back to Lakers were able to get him for that right price. They didn't pay him some crazy amount of money. They got him on a right price. I think Marcus Smart is the key to unlocking more out of DeAndre Ayton. Keeping him calm, keeping him.
I like
composed. What helps too is that DeAndre Ayton's been in a playoff setting before. DeAndre Ayton's played in the finals, so he kind of gets a little bit of a feel of understanding how the playoffs take a different leap, right?
So D, a couple interesting comments in the chat. First one from Smelly Garage Fluids. Ayton got paid $30 million to not play basketball. The Lakers are relying on leftover scraps that not even the Blazers wanted. What a comment. And then we have another. This one's kind of funny from JF699. Spike the crunk juice. Spike the crunk juice. Put a little bit of that splah in the crunk juice. Get them activated.
Look, so the answer is Smelly Garage Floors. But that's a funny name, by the way. Yes, the Portland Trail Blazers, they got rid of DeAndre immediately, and they did not see any value to him whatsoever being alongside, being on that Portland Trail Blazers roster. There was a lot of stuff that came out with DeAndre Ayton, how he's motivated and all that stuff.
I think he wanted out. And he kind of rebelled. Kind of like when Harden put on the fat suit, his latter days with the Rockets, he wanted out. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and you can see it because the moment he signed with the Lakers, we had him on our own we had him on our station, and it was all nothing but smiles with him.
Yeah.
It's just that the problem with DeAndre Ayton is it's never been a question with his talent. We have to keep on saying it over and over again.
It's up here.
It's literally up here. It's up here. It's the willingness to be able to do it every single game. And what makes it worse is that just trying to find ways to motivate him. You should be motivated enough to be even on the basketball court, especially at an NBA level, especially understanding that you have the skill set to be a really dominant big man. And it's just one of those is that this is who he is. But that shouldn't be the case going into the playoffs. They really need to find ways to unlock a different side of DeAndre Ayton if they want to have a chance in this playoff series. You can't. We've seen it. LeBron James put up 30, and Deondre almost had a triple-double. Luke Kennard had a triple-double. I know he shot 5 of 17, but his role increased with the ball in his hands, initiating the offense. And that was without Marcus Smart, which that's another guy that can get him into the offense, which can help out Luke Kennard get to his spots. But as you can see, when the Lakers lost to the Dallas Mavericks, immediately there's no chance. There's no chance. LeBron was putting up 30 and they lost to a Dallas Mavericks team who's trying to lose. Literally trying to lose.
This is true.
And they gave up 130 to them? Like, that's unacceptable, man. You can't have that. And that's where the worries comes in. And it's going to take more. You want to talk about J.J. trying to find his 9 guys? These are 9 guys he trusts.
So, D, another thing I was kind of thinking, right? With Luka, with AR out, you've got Marcus Smart as your ball handler. You have Luke Kennard as your ball handler. Obviously, LeBron James. At times, Laravia brings it up, but he quickly gets rid of it. You got some guys on the bench. You got a Nick Smith who just got a contract for 2 years. And, of course, you know who I got to bring up. You got Bronny James, who is actually getting a lot of PT these last couple of games as the playoffs approach. Do you see Nick Smith, who can score, who can be a microwave? We saw him with that one game earlier this season. He had 30-something off the bench.
The Nick
I believe that was
game.
against Portland. Yeah. And then you have Bronny James, who at times has shown flashes, and the more he plays, he looks more confident every game. Like, do you see those guys getting any playoff burn?
Oof, man. I maybe see Bronny getting a little spurt, and I know Brian in the YouTube chat loves me saying that because he's like, I want to just see Bronny get minutes. I think it's going to be tougher to see. I think it's going to be tough to put him in a position, especially in the playoffs. And you don't want to put Bronny in a position where he has to bring the ball up, man, because
put him in there when Reed Shepard's in the game. Let him guard against Reed Shepard. Let him match up against Reed. Let him hit a couple threes. Let him play D. I mean, you gotta try some.
I wouldn't be opposed to that, but Reed Shepard is a guy that really, really can create his bucket and really, really can, when he gets a heater on, he can get going. It's just, I just don't want. Okay, just to your point, if the Lakers throw Bronny James out in a situation like that, where you put him in there a couple minutes, it is the right matchup, and you're not putting him in a spot to fail because there's been moments, we see it both times against Oklahoma City Thunder, where Bronny couldn't even get past half court with Kason Wallace on him. Literally picking his spot. And that did not look good whatsoever. So, I mean, I think that's the thing. Don't put him in the wrong spot. If they try to find minutes for him, that can be productive. Now, as far as Nick Smith Jr., to answer your question, I know that Nick Smith Jr. got converted to that standard contract. They waived Kobe Buffkin. Nick Smith Jr. is a guy that he's like a microwave. When he can get hot, he can get hot. But there's been a lot of moments where it's been a little bit of a low. You know what I mean? You start to see him not really play as much as he was early on in the season. And I don't know if that's due to because if your shot's not flowing and if he's not hitting, then what are we having you out there on the basketball?
Kind of like similar to Connect. If he's not producing offensively, what are you doing out here?
Exactly. Can there be moments that they're going to need a spark from Nick Smith Jr. because he is just a microwave? And we've seen him score, 12 points in 9 minutes or something crazy like that, 9-10 minutes? I mean, as far as him getting real minutes, that's going to be tough. The 9 guys that J.J. truly believes is your starting 5: LeBron, Smart, Laravia.
Laravia.
Yeah, I know. LeBron, Smart, Laravia, Kennard, and Ayton. And then you got Rui. You got most likely Vanderbilt. And then you're going
maybe Kleber at times.
And then that 9 spots kind of be, who can JJ really trust? But they're gonna need everyone. They're going to need everyone. And like Travis said, which I thought was really good, is that they need a weird game. They need a moment where damn, Jared Vanderbilt won them a moment just because they won them the game because of what he did defensively. Being able to get into a passing lane that led to a transition bucket.
You're just saying they need an outlier. They need an outlier game. Someone to just go crazy.
Rui Hachimura won Lakers the game because he was unconscious from the field. I remember. Do we now remember? Remember when the Lakers, Rui literally won? I think he won them a game in that Memphis series where he was just unconscious from the field. It was him and Austin Reeves. That was the I'm him Austin Reeves moment where he was just cooking and Rui Hachimura was alongside with them. But it's just, I'm telling you, man, this is a playoff series where we don't expect the Lakers to win. They can use that as motivation. They can use that as fuel. That's motivation enough.
They're playing with house money. They're playing with house money.
There's no one in the entire world believes the Lakers can win this series, if we're being honest. There's no way everyone. And the narrative now is, hey, look, if Kevin Durant loses this is the narrative. If Kevin Durant blows this, then do we put Kevin Durant in the conversation as one of the greatest players to play? Even though he still is, don't get me wrong, Kevin Durant has the numbers. He has all those different types of accolades to show. But as far as if he were to lose a series against the Lakers, knowing they have two of their best players, it's going to be a lot more on Kevin Durant than it is to the Lakers team of LeBron James, for being honest with you.
Yeah, that'd be really bad for his legacy, which at times, isn't the best legacy, even though he's a bucket. We know that. But
yeah, and the worst part is that, and I know we run out of time here. The worst part is that if the Lakers were somehow to win this series, or even if they were to extend, and Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves come back, and they do win the first round series with them coming back. You know what the worst part about that is? Is that they come in the second round, they got to play the Oklahoma City Thunder most likely.
Yeah. So maybe it's not even worth it, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see how this. Let's one game at a time.
One game at a time. And honestly, game one, it sounds so cliche, but game one is literally the tone setter. It really is. If Lakers come out there and say if they win, it's like, oh shoot, they started off hot. They got the first game at home. But say if they were to lose, but they lost in the clutch, the last 5 minutes, in the clutch moments where Lakers have been one of the better teams in the clutch games. We'll see. Game one is going to be that tone setter.
And we're going to be there. We're going to be there at game one. Me, Deondre, and Tim doing some Lakers Talk Daily related content, some ESPN LA content.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for that.
So be on the lookout for that. But John, my guy, thank you for coming on today, man. Hey, full 30 minutes for you, brother. Not no 15 minutes.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
You really were John Ellis today, man.
I guess. I'll take the NBA comparison. I'll take the NBA player comparison.
Oh man, but you guys in the YouTube chat, as always, man, thank you guys for tuning in, man, and always being in the comment section and venting, giving your guys 2 cents on how you guys feel about this series against the Houston Rockets. But for myself, my guy John, and my guy Tim, and everyone back to running this operation, appreciate you guys. And we will be talking to you guys tomorrow. We're going to preview this first round matchup against the Houston Rockets all week long. I can't wait to discuss game one with you guys next week. But as always, I'll be talking to you guys tomorrow. You boys out.